Assalamu alaikum, y'all. I hope all is well. Sorry for my absence. It's been a while. Your girl, your girl and the whole family ended up catching a cold, right? Like a few days after we made hijrah. So I don't know if you guys can see, but we are in a new setting, y'all. Actually, let me turn the other way. We're in a new setting, y'all. I'm in the backyard, alhamdulillah. So as I mentioned in my previous videos, we made hijrah to the UAE. Well, actually, in the other videos, we were going to make hijrah to the UAE. But now we have officially made hijrah to the UAE. Yes, alhamdulillah, man. Thank you guys for all your well wishes, all your du'as, all your concerns. Alhamdulillah. The transition has been smooth, I can say. It's been a smooth transition. It's still a lot to do. So in my last video, I left off on how Allah really tested my tawakkul, right? So, the first video we talked about how, we felt like we had our tawakkul on point or whatever. We made the du'as, we prayed on it, and, Allah granted the tawakkul. So we thought, right? And then I lose my job, okay? And so I lose my job. Like I said, I was sorting through those feelings. So what did I do next, right? I did what I knew how to do. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, what do we say, right? You trust in Allah and you also tie your camel. So I felt like me tying my camel was definitely okay. Now I got to bring it back to the prayer mat. Like I always say, bring it to the prayer mat, bring the problems there. Allah will sort it out and give it right back to you. So I ended up praying, and then I just ended up applying for jobs. And not to confuse anyone, I wasn't unemployed. Like I said, I have been in several remote roles. I have several remote jobs. So one of my secondary remote jobs, it wasn't my full-time, but I used to work a lot of hours over there, alhamdulillah. I ended up losing that job, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, it was one of the positions that I was looking to do overseas. So when I lost that position, I'm like, yo, Allah, I thought I was on a roll here, but alhamdulillah. So I ended up just applying for jobs. I applied for so many jobs, I couldn't even remember. So I was just like applying for anything that was like 1099, anything that, may even look like it may allow me to work overseas. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt the crunch because I'm like, we had a target date, right? Like my husband, alhamdulillah, may Allah preserve him, he was so target oriented, like deadline oriented. Like every time I would be like, can we push back up, he'd be like, nope, I'm going overseas, I'm getting y'all house sorted, when you and the kids come, y'all gonna have a car waiting for y'all. Like he was just so goal oriented that alhamdulillah, like Allah really knew what he was doing to give him so much strength. And that's really why the men are the head of the family. I always say the men are the head, but the women's the neck. And that's why Allah gave them that feature where it's like they are just practical people. Like this man was not trying to hear it. So, and I say that to say, like, I felt the crunch. I'm like, no interviews yet, no callbacks yet. I'm like, the deadline is deadlining, you know what I mean? So alhamdulillah, out of nowhere, I want to say 2 weeks before our hijrah date, I get an invite to an interview. I'm like, yes. And it was one of the jobs, I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even remember I even applied to this job. Like I had to literally go back and Google the company. I'm like, what company is this? So I literally had to go onto their page and just do mad research because I'm like, I don't even remember this company. I don't even remember ever applying for this job. But, Allah works in mysterious ways. So, I ended up interviewing and everything checked out. Like they were like, oh, you can use your own devices. You can work as much as you want, as little as you want. And I'm like, Allah, I see what you've done again. Even though we had every excuse to postpone the hijrah. Oh, let's save more money. Let's find another job. No, we kept bulldozing. We kept going through with it. And Allah was like, you know what? These people are really trying to move for my sake. Let me sprinkle a little bit more mercy into their life. Let me sprinkle a little bit more barakah into their affairs. So, and I say that in a state of gratitude, in a state of shukr, not to be boastful or, what I mean? Like, it's just more of me boasting about the attributes of Allah. Allah being Al-Karim, Al-Ghani, Al-Razak. Like, he is everything he says that he is and more, you know. So moral of the story is, you know, when we have tawakkul, we will be tested. Or when we think we got tawakkul, we will be tested. And what we're going to do, are we going to fold? Are we going to be ungrateful? Are we going to give up the plan, throw it in the water? No, you got to buckle down. That's just an example, you know. When you sit down and you look at your life, Allah has not let us down, you know, from being birthed, you know, for like even before birth, like, you know, how many other, you know, what's the word here? I don't even know, but like how many other, or I guess I'll say other organisms that we have to fight for implementation, right? Like we literally got implanted and then carried for 9 months, or however many months for some of us, you know, to be birthed. Like there's a reason why Allah put you here. Like you was in competition with millions of little organisms trying to be implanted, and then here you are, you know, here you are into your adulthood. Allah gave you parents that were able to feed you, to provide for you. Or if it wasn't your parents, Allah gave you, you know, surrogates, someone else that was able to care for you, you know, get you right. And then you grow up in your adulthood, and then subhanallah, you try to doubt that same Allah that brought you here. A'udhu billah, a'udhu billah. So that is my little update, y'all. Alhamdulillah, thank you guys for that, have been following us. Y'all can follow us on TikTok as well. Your family is on TikTok now, Mary D Family, okay? All right, y'all. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. We have more Hijrah Chronicles for you guys. You know, this page is really for motivational purposes for the most part, because I remember before we made Hijrah, baby, I used to eat, sleep, and drink all things Hijrah content. So for me to find myself also making real life Hijrah content, wallahi, I owe the community, I owe the ummah that. I owe everybody who wants to make Hijrah, we owe them that, because we are regular schmegular people like everybody else. But I feel like sometimes it's hard because when we don't see content online that's relatable, we're like, nah, I can't make Hijrah. You know, I can't make Hijrah because I don't have this job or I don't have this degree. No, you can make Hijrah just like everybody else. So inshallah, y'all follow us for our journey, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's been watching since. Like, share, and subscribe. Assalamu alaikum.